Diddy has a 300 million problem, and the only man who can fix it is Donald Trump. You heard that right? The same Trump who's out here rewriting American politics might also be rewriting Diddy's future. But the question isn't just about money. It's about power, loyalty, and humiliation. Sources are whispering that Trump's team has Diddy's fate on lock, and the offer on the table sounds straight out of a movie Freedom in exchange for cash and complete surrender. And while Diddy's been sitting in that cell all weekend, manifesting his release, Monday's rolling in fast, and he's still behind bars. The rumor Trump's not ignoring him, has watching, waiting, testing how far Diddy's willing to crawl for mercy. And the crazy part, Diddy might actually be considering it. Because when you've got millions on the line, pride starts to feel expensive. When you're staring down years behind bars, you start asking yourself, one question: is 300 million worth your pride? Stay tuned, because this story is about to twist deeper than anyone expected, and Diddy's next move might shock everyone. Picture this: the long weekends over the chatter online has gone quiet, and Diddy is still sitting in that cell waiting. They said he spent days pacing the floor, talking to himself, convinced that Trump's team would call any minute. But the phone never rang. The guards never came. The door never opened. Sources close to the camp say he's restless, frustrated, replaying every move that got him there. You know that moment. When reality hits, when you realize all your power, your fame, your money doesn't mean a thing behind steel bars. That's the moment Diddy's living in right now. They say he barely sleeps. He keeps checking the clock, asking the same question over and over. Did Trump call yet? He's reportedly making lists of people to reach out to old business partners, exes, even family friends who once bragged about knowing someone in politics. Has burning through connections like firewood, desperate for a spark that leads to freedom. But the silence is deafening. The word from inside Trump's team hasn't moved. Not an inch. The message is clear: if Diddy wants a deal, he's going to have to earn it, and not just with money. They say the humiliation is the point. Trump's people want to see him break. They want the apology, the surrender, the moment when Diddy goes from mogul to man on his knees. Because at this level, it's not about justice, it's about dominance. And Diddy, he's learning what it feels like to lose control. So here's where things start to get dark and political. The whispers say this isn't just a stalled pardon, it's a calculated game. Trump isn't ignoring Diddy out of spite, he's studying him, watching every headline, every leak, every desperate rumor Diddy's team pushes to the media. Because the more desperate Diddy looks, the cheaper his loyalty becomes. Sources close to Trump's orbit claim the plan is simple: public humiliation equals control. Trump wants to make an example out of Diddy, a billionaire mogul who once mocked him, now reduced to begging for mercy. Every delay, every rumor, every almost got out headline is part of the setup. Remember, Trump moves like a chess player. He knows optics, he knows revenge. When Diddy's name trends, Trump doesn't just see gossip, he sees leverage. A man with influence trapped and humbled, and that's powerful currency in politics. Think about it. Trump's pardoned people who've given him something in return: political loyalty, public praise, even business favors. But Diddy, he spent years throwing shade. That's a debt Trump allegedly wants repaid in full. And that's why, according to insiders, the 300 million is only half the price. The other half is obedience complete and public. Trump wants the headline, the photo op, the apology. He wants Diddy to become the ultimate symbol of submission. Because for Trump, this isn't just about Diddy. It's about sending a message: every man has a price, even the ones who swore they didn't. Let's talk about that number, $300 million. That's not pocket change. That's the kind of money that shifts governments, changes legacies, and wipes reputations clean. And according to the whispers, that's the number floating around Diddy's so-called Freedom Fund. The price he'd allegedly need to pay to grease the right palms, charm the right officials, and convince Trump's inner circle that his name deserves to be on the list. Now let's be clear, a presidential pardon isn't something you can just buy. But in the political underworld, there's a system, a network of lobbyists, lawyers, and consultants who make things happen. They call it access. Diddy's reportedly hired some of the most expensive fixers in D.C., but none of them are getting traction. Every door, He knocks on every favor he calls in the answers, the same Trump's not ready, and that's what makes this story so wild because even with all that money, nothing's moving. Trump doesn't want Diddy's cash. He wants the performance, the moment, the public. Surrender that proves even a billionaire mogul can be humbled. He wants the apology, the photo op, the clip of Diddy eating humble pie live on every network. But here's where things get complicated. That $300 million isn't just a transaction, it's Diddy's entire lifeline. His properties, his companies, his legacy. People close to him say he's torn between pride and panic. If he pays, he walks out free but broke a shadow of his former self. If he refuses, he sits in that cell watching time chew through his empire. And the cruelest twist, that's exactly how Trump likes it. Dragging it out, making him sweat, forcing him to choose between his money and his dignity. Because this isn't just business, it's domination. And for Diddy, that $300 million isn't just the price of freedom, it's the cost of surrender. Here's where things get deep because for Diddy, this isn't just about cash. It's about loyalty, or what loyalty means when your freedom's on the line. The talk on the inside is that Trump doesn't just want money. He wants submission. He wants Diddy to kneel, not physically, but publicly, and swear allegiance. To admit that everything he said about Trump before was wrong, that he now understands the movement, that he's seen the light, and that's what burns Diddy the most. You see, Trump isn't asking for an apology, he's demanding a conversion. He wants Diddy to become a symbol, a walking billboard that says, even your idols bow down to me, and for a man like Diddy whose entire brand has been built on power, pride, and being untouchable, that's a psychological death sentence. Imagine being told, you can have your freedom, but you'll never again look powerful in the eyes of your people. That's not just humiliation, that's legacy, destruction, sources. Close to his circle say, he's been calling old friends, former business partners, even exes, not just for money but for advice. Because this decision isn't just about him. It's about how history will remember him. Will he be the man who stood tall in the face of the system or the one who sold his soul for an early release? And then there's the community angle. Trump reportedly wants Diddy to bring the culture with him to use his influence to make the MAGA brand look more diverse, more appealing. But that's where things get dangerous. Because even if Diddy agreed, could he really bring people with him? Or would the community see through it immediately as nothing more than a desperate power move by a fallen mogul? This is the real trap. Trump doesn't need Diddy's endorsement. He needs Diddy's surrender, and Diddy knows it. Every hour he waits, every phone call he makes, that reality gets clearer. Sometimes the hardest prison isn't the one with bars. It's the one built from pride. Now this is where Diddy's story starts to sound like a movie. Because when the doors in America started closing, the whispers say he looked east. The rumor goes like this. Diddy believed that if Trump's people wouldn't play ball, maybe the money kings of the middle. Eastward he saw what the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar have been doing, building film empires, buying soccer teams, hosting global music festivals. To a man like Diddy that sounded like opportunity, he reportedly started floating. The idea of a bad boy Arabia, a luxury music label and residency based in Dubai, a place where he could perform, produce, and rebuild his empire from the ground up, far from the reach of American headlines and judgment. But that's when the illusion started to crack. Because according to insiders, when Diddy's team reached out to the region's entertainment power brokers, the response wasn't the red carpet treatment he expected. The word came back politely but firmly, we're not interested. See these. Countries are investing in brand protection. They want Jay-Z, Scooter Braun, maybe even K-pop icons, clean names with global pull, Diddy's legal baggage, that's bad business. His controversies are too fresh, too public, too toxic. And the biggest players in Dubai don't gamble with scandal. Some sources even claim that one Emirati contact told Diddy's rep, we don't buy chaos, we buy credibility. That's a cold statement, but it's real. And here's where it gets tragic. Diddy thought he could sell a dream to buy his freedom, build a global comeback while the US turned its back. Instead, he's finding out that reputation follows you everywhere. No matter how far you run, you can't outrun your name. So while Diddy's sitting in that cell calculating his options, that Middle East escape plan, that glittering mirage of wealth and rebirth is evaporating. Because even in the desert, not every oasis is real. Picture this. It's Sunday night. The last hours of a long holiday weekend are ticking away, and the whole internet's asking one question, is Diddy getting out? On social media, fans are posting countdowns, reporters are refreshing feeds, and somewhere in that cold cell, Diddy's probably watching the clock just like everyone else. But every hour that passes, without a phone call, without that so-called miracle pardon, the silence gets louder. Sources say his team spent the weekend manifesting, calling in favors and praying that Trump would swoop in before Monday morning, but by Sunday night, reality hit hard. The phones went quiet. The lobbyists, the ones who were supposed to have connections, stopped answering. That's when the whispers started. Trump played him. And maybe that's true. Because according to insiders, this was all part of a plan, a psychological game designed to break Diddy, keep him hoping, keep him spending, keep him desperate, let him believe freedom is just one call. Away! Then take it away at the last second. The image is haunting. They say Diddy was sitting there, feet tapping, eyes on the door, waiting like a man on death row for the guard to come with his release papers. But the door never opened. Monday came. The world moved on. And that's when it hit him. He's not special anymore. The man who used to make the world move on his time is now waiting for permission to breathe. The countdown ended, but not the waiting. Because now every day feels like another. Monday, no calls, no deals, just silence. And if the rumors are true that silence isn't an accident, it's Trump's final message: you don't get out until I say you get out. The clock has stopped, but the punishment, oh, that's just beginning. And now here we are, the end of the road. Diddy's not just fighting for his freedom anymore, he's fighting for his legacy. Because no matter how this story ends, one truth remains. When your empire is built on image, losing control of that image is the ultimate downfall. Think about it. Diddy was the man who told everyone to take that. Take that. The mogul who turned hustle into a religion. But in that cell, none of that matters. You can't out-hustle time, you can't out-negotiate silence, and you definitely can't buy back your dignity once you've traded it for survival. The question that's haunting him now isn't just about 300 million, it's about what comes next. Even if he does get out, what's left? The brands are gone, the deals are frozen, the community's watching, and the world has receipts. Because here's the cruel irony. The same machine that made him famous is the one tearing him down. Every rumor, every leaked quote, every tweet adds another crack to the glass house he built. And if Trump's really playing chess, not checkers, then this was never about money. It was about the message, the demonstration of power, showing that even the kings of culture can be brought to heel if they cross the wrong man. So now Diddy's trapped between two impossible choices: keep his pride and lose everything, or give in, bow down, and live free but forever tainted. That's not just a headline. That's the definition of a legacy gamble. And maybe that's why this story hits so hard, because it's not just about Diddy, it's about how fragile power really is when the spotlight turns against you. So what do you think? Is 300 million worth your legacy, or is pride the most expensive thing a man can own? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what side you're on. And if you're following this saga, hit that like button and subscribe, because this story, oh, it's far from over.